What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I'm coming to you with some more boxing. Once again, Luis King Kong Ortiz has been on a roll lately with his thoughts and comments, and this is no exception. He states that Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, will knock out Fury cold. And after that happens, of course, he would love and demand an immediate rematch. Okay. What are my thoughts on that? Let me counterpunch this accordingly. First off, I think what Ortiz says is 50-50. He gets a 50%. I agree with him 50% on this situation. For one, I think that he should want a rematch. I think he should get a rematch. I think the first fight was a lot of speculation, a lot of criticism, and it made a lot of people skeptic because, I'm not the only one that thinks this, because I think that fight was more of a protected fight for Deontay Wilder. I think that that fight should be ran over and done with an unfavored referee, because you could clearly see the referee was on Deontay's side, and it made no sense to see what they were doing in the ring. And I think it's only fair to give Ortiz a rematch. Because remember, Ortiz is the only guy that's really credible for Deontay Wilder's resume. All the other dudes, you can simply, just like Tyson Fury already broke down, all the other guys, and he mentioned Ortiz, but all the other guys didn't add up to what Ortiz's abilities are. All those guys were pretty much underrated fighters, except Ortiz. Ortiz was this guy, as of now, okay? Because you're going to hear a lot of people say, well, Ortiz hasn't fought anyone. Well, here's the deal. No one has fought Ortiz. Let's say it like that. Instead of saying Ortiz hasn't fought anyone, no one's fought Ortiz. So you can't discredit a guy until he gets beat by someone else. Then we can start that. Then we can start to shine some light on that. Then I could see the argument. Then we can prove that. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I think he deserves a rematch. I think he should demand one, because how he looks at it also. Look at it like this, guys. Ortiz figures, well, hey, it's a better, I'll have a better chance of fighting Deontay Wilder than Joshua. And it makes a lot of sense because, both of these are Al Haymon guys, right? And on top of that, Ortiz is one of the toughest fights. Deontay Wilder, it's not set in stone, for him demanding 60-40 or 50-50 to fight Joshua. They're not going to fold to that, not the A side. So I could see that fight happening again. You know what I'm saying? I could see that fight redoing. And then it would be more on PBC side or Al Haymon side where fights are being done over. You know what I mean? Rerun. Because if Sean Porter was supposed to fight Keith Thurman, they've already fought before. So, this would be no exception. Okay. Now, on the other part of what Ortiz is saying about knocking out Tyson Fury, I say this. I don't think that he could knock out anyone. Okay, let me get that out of the way. He could knock out anyone, but for him saying, hey, I think he'll knock out Fury cold, I don't know. Because I'm thinking that Ortiz is underestimating Fury's skill. You know what I mean? But if he does, because, anybody can get caught. So it is some truth to that. But I think that was coming from a favored desire for Deontay Wilder to win. You know what I'm saying? Than to actually put a fair assessment to it. Like, I think he'll knock him out cold. Well, maybe. I think if Deontay Wilder hits anyone, he'll knock him out cold. But just to say, oh, Deontay Wilder, I think he'll knock him out. And I'm coming from an unbiased standpoint. I don't figure that Luis or King Kong Ortiz is, simply because it's easy to say what a fighter that's already beat you, the only fighter that's beat you in your professional career, to give that person accolades versus the person you haven't been in the ring with. You know what I'm saying? It would be different if Ortiz was the common opponent between the two guys, Fury and Deontay Wilder, but he's not. He just fought Deontay Wilder and got caught twice in that fight. He got caught in the 5th round and he got caught again 5 rounds later in the 10th, which shut it down. You know what I mean? He caught him, he hurt him, he threw him into the ropes, he battered him in behind the head, but he threw some decent uppercuts and right hands in there too and got Ortiz out of there. So Ortiz, it's a convenient thing to say when you've already got beat by the guy. Oh yeah, that guy will beat him. You know what I mean? It's an easy thing to say. That's like De La Hoya telling any fighter to watch out for Manny Pacquiao's blinding hand speed because De La Hoya's been in there with him. You know what I'm saying? So it's an automatic biased statement. You know what I mean? And I say biased because he knows what it's like to be in there with Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? And because it's one-sided, because he's never been in there with Tyson Fury at all. So you don't know how Tyson Fury would do. He can't make a fair assessment of what he does when he throws that right hand. And the mistake Ortiz made was standing right in front of Deontay Wilder and not respecting that right hand, especially after being hit and caught with it in the 5th round. You know, I think that should have woke Ortiz up like, wait a minute, I got to fight this guy, you know, in a different approach. You know what I mean? From my right side, circling out, right? But anyway, but yeah, I think that it's 50-50. I don't think that he'll necessarily knock out Tyson Fury like King Kong Ortiz is. But I mean, that probably would ultimately happen if Deontay Wilder wins, right? But yeah, but I can understand Luis Ortiz thinking that or wanting that because, I mean, he wants another shot at the title. And I figured that he's good enough, a good enough fighter, regardless of however old he really is, to get a shot back at the title. You know what I mean? Because if you look at the backstory, he was in line by the WBA to fight Joshua for the mandatory. Okay, so, you know, he's right there on the upper echelon of fighters that are not champions. You know, I put him up there 3 or 4. You know what I mean? So why not? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Mr. Ortiz saying these predictions about what Deontay Wilder will do to Fury. Of course, you guys, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.